When you're doing such a successful job, whatever you do, like, everyone wants to bring you down. No one wants to see you succeed. Everybody wants to talk shit about you. Everyone wants to be negative and bring you down. The world is a fucked up place, bro. Like, this shit that we did tonight for all the fighters to come in here and do what they did, like, it's so much harder than anyone could ever think, and people out there talking shit about this, and like...
Wait a minute!
The Ace Family, a family vlogging channel that takes a look into the everyday life of a somewhat perfect family. Created by Austin McBroom and Catherine McBroom on January 10th, 2016, approximately 5 years ago. The channel as of today has 19.1 million subscribers and is the 262nd most subscribed channel on YouTube, which is astonishing when you look at how far they have came in such a short amount of time. In just 5 years, the Ace Family took over the YouTube family vlog scene, and they have been able to build up a really loyal fan base. The two would grow the channel with family style pranks and would also make their fans feel like they were a part of the Ace family's everyday life, which had viewers wanting to see more. This would help the channel explode to over 4.3 billion views as of today. But in today's video, we're going to take a look at one member of the Ace family in particular, Austin McBroom. Austin McBroom, in his 5 years of doing YouTube, has had his fair share of controversies, from scamming his so-called Ace family time and time again, to many allegations of Austin cheating on Catherine, with some of the allegations being false and some allegations fading out of relevancy. And in today's video, we will cover every single one of his controversies leading to the present day. Starting with the first ever controversy that happened on June 30th, 2018, which was the Ace Family charity basketball game that was a sold-out event at the Galen Center in Los Angeles, California. That event would feature Rice Gum going up against Austin McBroom in a 1v1 game, and then after that game, they would play a 5-on-5 game. The Ace family promised that $100,000 would be donated to a charity of their choice, but when it was time to hold up the check that was going to charity, there was a slight discrepancy in the amount that was written on the check. In this photo, you can clearly see that the check shows $75,000, which is still a good amount of money to be donated to a good cause. But the issue that some fans had was a lack of an explanation as to what happened to the other $25,000. Some people assume that possibly the other $25,000 was used to pay off some of the other expenses for the game, but with a sold out crowd, you would think that the $600,000 generated would be enough to pay off the expenses. With the amount of eyes that were focused on the controversy at the time, something from Austin McBroom's past would come back up to hurt his image even more. During July and August of that same year, old tweets from Austin's Twitter account would resurface that would show him being racist to Black and Asian women and would be sexist to women in general. He would respond to those accusations that he wasn't racist and sexist in a video that he would upload. Here's a clip from that video.
But did you ever say you were perfect? I'm a dumbass. Oh, I'm not. Did you? Shit.
2011. How old was I? That was like 7 years ago?
Yeah.
I was in my teens.
I think about it. Wasn't your ex-girlfriend Black?
You're right. Listen.
Oh, God.
Listen, hashtag all bad.
You're a jokester. That's a joke. I know it's a joke. I'm your mother.
He would claim that he was a teen and it was 7 years prior to the resurfaced tweets, and that it was just tweets from a teen that had no business being on social media. But those screenshots of his tweets and glimpses of how Austin acted in his videos had some viewers wondering if that was still the way he thought or spoke about women away from the cameras. Eventually, the tweets would get deleted and the controversy would fade away. But the summer of 2018 was a bad time for the Ace family, because in August of that same year, the Ace family would get their house broken into after they took a trip to Disneyland. On August 16th, the Ace family would upload a video titled "Someone Broke Into Our House." Throughout that video, Austin was having very weird interactions with the cops that showed up to the scene of the crime, and many other creators speculated that the burglary was staged to get heat off of Austin's back with the tweets that resurfaced just 1 month prior. Atosi would dip his toes in the controversy and would make a video about the robbery just a week later to try and debunk the truth behind the Ace family's video. Here's some clips from Atosi's video.
Hey, I'm gonna freeze this frame right here. If you were a robber, would you A, break the glass around the door handle to then unlock the door and pull it open? Or would you B, smash a larger hole at the bottom of the door for a larger mess and better YouTube thumbnail? Then I mean, lay down on your hands and knees, then crawl through that small ass hole somehow without leaving any prints of your hands nor knees nor even stepping on this glass, to crawl through this little hole to then somehow stand up, open the door, and let your friend in? If you answered B, I think you might have robbed the Ace family because no one does that. Permission to take the knife for, to take fingerprints off of it. Does that sound like a quote from any police officer? Or does that sound like an actor who's trying to be like a police officer? There's just something off about it. After they confirmed that the robber took a knife from downstairs and brought it upstairs, wouldn't a cop's reaction be, okay, don't touch that, this is evidence, and then just seal it right there? Even the father gave the look like, why are you asking me this? I want to believe it's real because of the stupidity of faking this. There's just way too many things that are weird about this. I've also not heard a single walkie-talkie in the background. Like, did they just decide they did not need a walkie-talkie or radio communication at all while they were walking around looking for evidence? Again, that's a bit off.
In that video, Atosi makes some really great points and observations about the CCTV footage that Austin claimed he and his neighbors had, and also Atosi points out where the robber broke into the house and why he suspects that the situation was fake, because the robber would have had to crawl on his hands and knees to get into the house, which would have left imprints in the shattered glass and could have potentially cut the intruder as well. There was no blood from the intruder. But it turns out that the Ace family was actually robbed by some amateur burglars that must have robbed the house without any thought or strategy beforehand, which is pretty messed up. This situation would get Austin McBroom out of the hot seat for about 2 months before Austin would again find himself in some hot water. Now, for some backstory, the Ace family would promote their new app called the Ace Family app that would be home to new exclusive content and also Ace Family merch. But at first glance, the app was filled with issues. When the merch would run out, it would take months to get replenished. The app itself was free to download, but to gain access to their content, you would have to pay $2.99 a month, which at first is pretty cheap, but it did hurt the fans that were less fortunate that couldn't afford to see the content that was posted. The app would be criticized for taking the money from people that ordered merch and never got it, and in 2019, the Ace family would take a break off of YouTube to fix the issues with the app, but the app would eventually be taken down, and the people that bought the merch and never received it would be refunded. Austin would say on a live stream that he got scammed as well as the people that bought into the app, and it was because the developers were shady, taking the blame off of the Ace family and putting the blame on the developers of the app.
Have asked what has happened with the Ace Club when we were doing exclusive content with the Ace Club, and unfortunately the people that we partnered with in that adventure, they end up, I don't really like to talk negatively, but they just weren't good partners. They end up unfortunately scamming us. And it kind of like hurt us in a way because in reality, like, you guys got scammed.
Now this next part of the video is where allegations start to get serious. In January of 2019, Austin would buy a young girl a penis-shaped lollipop from an adult shop and claimed in a video that if he didn't buy the candy for her, that she was going to steal it, which is why he ended up buying her the lollipop. She couldn't have been older than the age of 9, so her actually stealing from the store could have been easily avoided. Austin would then deactivate his Instagram account for a couple of days because of the backlash from the video. People didn't like that he over-sexualized a young girl, and being a family channel, people were questioning his daughter's safety around Austin. Not to mention that the girl in the video wasn't even his child, which makes it even worse, but she was related to Catherine or associated with Catherine in some way. This was a huge situation for the Ace family, and the way they responded to this controversy was not commenting on it at all, which left even their fans upset with Austin for once again having a lack of a response or apology. The comment section of the videos following this allegation and this video that was posted on his Instagram would ask Austin for an apology video or even ask about the situation. The Ace family would continue to delete some of these negative comments, and eventually this would also fade out of relevancy. And of course, the next scam would again take place in January of 2019, the same month of the lollipop controversy. On January 12th, the Ace family uploaded a video stating that they were kicking the new year off by giving away $100,000 for anyone that can make 10 3-pointers in a row. And at first, it was assumed that the contest was open to anyone, but that perception was quickly changed when a list of 20 contestants was issued on Austin McBroom's Twitter that showcased contestants that had a sizable fan base. In my opinion, they did that to get more people to visit this event, to drive up total ticket sales, and also use that time to push their merch onto the fans that came to the event. Coming to the end of the event, all the contestants had failed to make all 10 3-pointers in a row, so Austin brings in his old hooping buddy, Austin Mills, and of course with a basketball background, was able to connect on every 3-pointer that he attempted, which won him the $100,000 grand prize. Fans again were upset because Austin Mills wasn't on the contestant list, and come to find out, Austin Mills' mother already made a good amount of money. Austin McBroom had this to say after the backlash. Fans again felt like this was a scam to get more subscribers to the channel and to gain them more money. Now we get to 2021. The Ace family launches How I Became a Millionaire for $50 a month, but that program would become known as another big scam, and the website itself had its fair share of issues, making it almost impossible to sign up for the program, and when you were able to log in and create an account with the program, it just highlighted the things that you could have learned for free off of Google, just like Jake Paul's website as well. Now during the first day of the launch, Austin told his fans that they only had 24 hours to sign up, but that's just not true. Even if you look at the website today, you could still sign up. It was just another desperate plea to have his fans pay for the program quickly without thinking about the $50 a month and the financial situation that they may have been in at that current time for a chance to learn how to make $1 million. That website is still up and you can still sign up to learn how to become a millionaire as of today, but the future of that website could be up in the air. Now we get to the present day, or well, about a month ago. The TikTok versus YouTuber fight airs, and we are finally able to witness Bryce Hall versus Austin McBroom. One of the biggest stories after that fight was that none of the fighters have gotten paid yet, and Social Gloves, the company that hosted the event, was going bankrupt. But guess who owns that company? None other than Austin McBroom himself. The issue that is at hand was that the event didn't nearly sell enough pay-per-view streams that they intended to, which left boxers and DJ Khaled without pay. Yes, all the boxers got their sign-on bonus, but they haven't gotten the checks that they were supposed to, which means we saw Bryce Hall get beat up for absolutely nothing close to what he should have gotten paid, which sucks for the fighters that paid for the training and who went the extra mile and may have paid for a nutritionist like Deji. That was obviously a joke. At this point, the McBroom family is at a bad spot in life. They have a bankrupt business, they might get sued, they are losing their multi-million-dollar mansion, and what they have built throughout the years is slowly spiraling downhill. It sucks because it's not the kid's fault that this is happening, but with so many allegations against Austin, it was only a matter of time before his antics caught up with him and the family. What they used to be able to bury with charity live streams and charity events and giveaways probably won't work this time. And even though Austin claimed that the foreclosure was false, his house is still up for pre-foreclosure on Zillow. The Ace family was able to avoid the heat for a while, always shedding light to another subject before they got cancelled. But they have nothing to fall back on this time. Then you pair that with the cheating allegations that I didn't even want to get into in this video, and now you're headed on a downward spiral. This is what happens when you build your business or your home or anything on a foundation filled with lies and greed. Eventually, everything you built up at the top slowly starts to crumble before the whole thing falls apart entirely. Now, this video might get a ton of hate or even demonetized, so if you did enjoy it, please leave a like to combat the crazy Ace family fans, and also subscribe because this video did take quite a while to create and I would really appreciate it. I also post weekly content, but as always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next upload.